I'm still awake, guys. I'm still awake. I couldn't go to sleep. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm looking at XRP's price action, and I'm like, oh, it's finally dumping. Let me actually get up from my bed and make a video because there are probably a few people panicking right now. So I'm going to explain what's happening to XRP. Why? Because we called it. There was only one person to call this, guys. It was XRPOD. Okay. The reason being is because I'm going to show you guys the proof and everything. Okay, we're going to break this down bit by bit and understand that we're on the right track here. So from the beginning of time, we did say, what's going on? Well, first things first, XRP is dumping because Bitcoin is, right? But XRP is taking a bigger hit because of the XRP versus Bitcoin pairing, right? It's very weak right now. By the way, we're at a crucial point in time. Okay, we took the liquidity from here. Beautiful, and we said it cannot go further below, guys. Okay, XRP needs to hold around this region right here, around this region. If XRP breaks this level, it's gonna die. Okay, but I'm pretty sure this is a financial advice. Okay, XRP will probably hold this level and literally go like that, guys. Create a V-shaped recovery out. That's just my opinion. I think it's still gonna dump a bit more. Oh, I did say do not look at the XRP versus USD chart. This chart, by the way, this chart right here does not matter at all. The only chart that matters is this chart, guys. Okay, it's at the bottom of the range. XRP needs to hold around this level right here. If it does, we're gonna pump to new all-time highs. It's quite clear. We actually talked about this 2 weeks ago. Listen to this. I posted this video 12 days ago, guys. Okay, and I can't really tell, but because of the end cards, but right here, we did say it's gonna go down there, guys. Look at that, right? This XRP versus Bitcoin pairing on the daily chart, right? When XRP was $2.40, right? Because we did say XRP will be weak against Bitcoin. Look where we're targeting down there. Video number 2. I mean, we talked about it so many damn times, right? Video number 2. What do we say here? This, then this, right? Look at that, right? A dump to this level. Again, this region needs to hold, by the way. This XRP versus Bitcoin pairing, where it's at right now, it could go a bit lower, maybe like a few percentage points lower. But if it goes lower than that, guys, or more than that, it's going to be bad news bears. But I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure it's going to hold around this level. Okay, like maybe it's going to drop like 2-3 more percent lower, right? Which could be big because it all depends on Bitcoin, remember. Because if Bitcoin does dump like 10%, XRP is going to get a bigger hit, right? It depends on Bitcoin what XRP will do, but just look at XRP versus Bitcoin pairing. And by the way, no one else will tell you this because I don't think anybody else would know about this, but I'm literally showing you guys the code cracked in today's video, right? Because I don't want anybody to panic. And this is the third video I talked about the same exact thing. Look, it's going to explode, guys. Okay, XRP will explode, but right, it just needs to hold this level. So things are looking amazing. Again, by the way, there are still bullish divergences intact, right? Now the 3-day, 4-day got killed, but because they didn't pump it. But the lower time frames, such as the daily, the 2, the 12 hourly, there are still bullish divergences forming. Now, I posted this video as well 9 days ago, and this is about XRP versus Ethereum chart, guys. And look what I say here. Okay, we're going to be talking about XRP versus ETH now, because literally 2AT, we call this as well, guys, right? Because again, Bitcoin is on the move. Bitcoin is literally saving XRP, which is a beautiful. You guys seen that? If Bitcoin wasn't as strong, right? It was at 104K right here, and it pumped to 111K. If that move didn't happen and it dumped from there, XRP would have died, right? So basically, technically, Bitcoin is saving XRP as we speak because of that pump it created, right? And XRP was weak against it. Beautiful thing. But honestly, if I could just see one more dump, guys, that would be the pattern completed, right? It's honestly better for XRP versus Ethereum to have another dump lower, right? Not even a big one, just another, because that would be the best thing, guys. Look at that liquidity building, right? So, in my opinion, just one more dump lower will just make everything. It will just literally have an explosive move back up. It will be like a V-shaped recovery is coming. Look at that, guys. So let's go to XRP versus ETH. Manipulation candles are off the charts, by the way, right? These are all manipulation candles. And where we at? Beautiful took this liquidity, check mark. It's probably gonna we're close to that bottom, by the way. Okay, so the reason why I know this to be, I think, a fact, again, nothing is guaranteed. Okay, nothing is guaranteed, but the probability of us reaching a bottom for XRP is quite high. Okay, because of that XRP versus Bitcoin pairing. Then this pairing, XRP versus ETH, reason being is because on the indicator, I did say before as well, there is a inverse head and shoulders pattern forming. Okay, the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder on the momentum. Okay, on momentum, this is a inverse head and shoulder pattern. It's the most bullish pattern we'll ever see. Okay, it's literally, from all the patterns I've come to find out, it's this pattern that's the most bullish out of them all. And this is on a daily chart, which is more explosive. This is actually very explosive. Now, I think this could come lower, right? I don't know where exactly it will bottom out, but when it does, guys, it's gonna blow up. XRP will devour Ethereum's market cap. It will, right? It's gonna go like that. Again, so two things. Honestly, just look at this chart, right? Just look at XRP versus Bitcoin. It needs to hold this level. It just needs to hold around this level, okay? This level right here, that's it, right? So it could come down a bit lower, but hold this level, blast off. If it comes lower than this level, yeah, guys, I think it's gonna die, right? But I'm like 95% sure it's gonna hold this level. I'm like 95% sure it's gonna hold that level. Okay, I don't know, and I think I'm gonna long it soon as well, right? With the last amount of money I have, like I don't know, like my 500 XRP or something, guys. Okay, so yeah, let's see what happens here. But things are looking amazing. Here comes Crypto Insight UK. Even he's coming in and saying, hey, listen, XRP versus ETH bullish divergence is forming on multiple time frames. Now, I don't use the RSI, right? But it's interesting because there's confluence, right? I use a different indicator, but on the RSI it's showing the same exact thing, right? Bullish divergence is forming on the XRP versus ETH chart. Okay, 4 hour, like, I think it may come lower. I'm not quite sure about XRP versus ETH, but again, when XRP versus ETH bottoms out, it's gonna literally skyrocket. I'm telling you this. This isn't financial advice, though, because anything can happen, right? So don't take my word for it. But the only chart I'm really looking at is this chart. This is a chart that's literally the only thing you would need. You would need, basically. So I do want to go check XRP's liquidity heat map as well for you guys, right? So people don't panic. Let's see what's going on here. So on the monthly time frame, I know there's a bunch of liquidity building up on the lower region, guys. Okay, yeah, look at all this liquidity. Yeah, I mean it will be best to take. Okay, the best path XRP could take right now would be this, guys. Right, this why I have alarm set. If it just went like this, literally like that. Okay, that would be the best path because liquidity will be taken all throughout here. Okay, then they're gonna save this liquidity for later. Okay, this liquidity will be saved for later. They're gonna pump it, and then literally black sun comes later. So yeah, I mean, this chart doesn't really matter to me, right? The only chart that I'm looking at is this chart, and we're basically near a bottom. Oh, I do want to mention, coming to this chart actually, XRP versus. I know we're talking about a lot of stuff here. I'm like sleep deprived, so I don't even know if I'm saying things correctly, but I'm pretty sure I am. Remember on the XRP versus USD pairing, guys? What did we say? Look at this, okay? Perfection. They did not take this liquidity, which means one thing, guys, right? They're gonna come for it at some point, okay? They're gonna come for this liquidity at some point, and then when they take it, XRP will be very bullish, right? Because it's breaking bearish structures at that point in time, which means it's gonna keep going higher, right? So the signs are clear. Do not sell right now. This isn't financial advice because this is their final trick that they're playing on everyone to sell before they pump it. That's what the charts are telling me. I could be wrong, right? Everyone is wrong at some point in time, guys, right? Because I'm not a fortune teller, but those are my thoughts, okay? Oh, not to mention on the top side, look how much liquidity is building on the top. Yup, it's gonna take all that soon. What's fascinating to me is that the SEC is officially reviewing Wisdom Tree's proposed spot XRP ETF is now accepting public comments. Dun dun dun! Isn't that weird? How we're getting close to a bottom, and now news about ETFs for XRP are about to get launched or spoken out in public. A little bit strange. I told you guys, when we're getting near the bottom, there's gonna be some type of news that exposes XRP, right? It needs to be tied to a catalyst to move prices higher. ETF Polymarket users predict an 83% chance that an XRP ETF will be approved in 2025. It's basically guaranteed, right? Then it just hit 84%. So insiders are like, yep, it's guaranteed that XRP will have ETFs approved this year, guys. Okay, probably very soon actually. Right, Garling House assumes that all XRP ETFs will go live in the second half of this year, which ties into XRP's price explosion.
I have immense confidence on the ETF. I think there's 11 different filings pending with the SEC to launch ETFs from everybody from Bitwise to Franklin Templeton and a whole bunch of people in between. I think those will be live in the second half of this year. We have seen even outside the United States, you have live ETPs, and at a time when a lot of outflows are exiting some of the crypto ETFs, you're seeing inflows into XRP. And I think that's because...
So there we go, right? So things are looking amazingly well. Not to mention, European Union says it's in constant talks with the United States to finalize a new trade deal. Manipulation is taking off the charts. Look, I promise to God, Trump is such a manipulator. This is insane. He needs to get out of office, because when XRP bottoms out, Bitcoin bottoms out, right, and they're gonna go for new highs, this news will come out at that point in time. Literally, what's it called? Timed perfectly, right, to a T, when the pump is occurring, guys, right? So don't be fooled. Do not be fooled because what's about to appear, right? The thing is, I don't know if they're gonna go back down for this liquidity, right? They could just come down like this. Okay, so what could happen here is this XRP, right? This analyst CW is thinking about, hey, we may break out of this like this, but what they could do is come down like this, guys, but they don't take this liquidity, right, and then pump it like that as well, right? So just be wary. But the only chart that you need is this chart. That's it. Hold this level, and we blast off. Go lower than this level, we die. Quite simple. You guys already know. Don't panic. Just look at the charts and be cool, calm, collected, because it's about to appear. This blast off movement. Now on each device. XRP can even go down to XRP can literally even go down to $2, and XRP versus Bitcoin is still holding up at this region, by the way. Okay, just to say, because it depends on Bitcoin's strength. Okay, now on each of us, let's see what happens next, but don't panic. My name is Liquidation. See ya. I should probably go sleep. I'm about to die. Oh my gosh.